Good afternoon, folks. Robert Chappell here, Executive Editor at Madison365 with your daily update for today, which is Wednesday, February 9th. I think I put the wrong date on the blurb, so it says February 8th, but it's actually today is the 9th. Today we have an update from a protest on the east side of Madison, which I attended. That's King Rick, the leader of the original Black Panthers of Milwaukee, who was there on behalf of Quadren Wilson, who is a 38-year-old man who was shot. His family says 5 times by state police, state Department of Criminal Investigation police on last week, Thursday, the 2nd of the 3rd February, last week, Thursday. It's unclear. A lot is unclear still. But what we do know is that he is in the Dane County Jail after spending a couple of days at UW Hospital. His family says he is in a great deal of pain and is not getting proper medical care at the Dane County Jail. I don't have any way to verify that. We do know that federal, state, and local law enforcement were all on the scene on the 3rd when he was arrested on the far east side of Madison. We do not know why he was arrested. I can't find any evidence of an arrest warrant that had been issued. He is currently in jail on a Department of Corrections probation hold, says the Dane County Sheriff. I'm a little skeptical of that. I've reached out to the Department of Corrections to find out why he was placed on a probation hold and whether that he was placed on that hold before or after he was arrested. So there was apparently no gun was found in his vehicle, no weapon of any kind, and there was no evidence that he did not comply with any particular commands. What we do know is he was leaving the parking ride out there on American Parkway on the east side. If you know the east side of Madison, you know what I'm talking about. And at a stoplight, one police vehicle backed into his and another rolled into him from the back, so basically pinned his vehicle in. They broke in a window and opened fire. There was one of them, we are told, we hear from Quadren's brother, Maine Morris, that that somebody said gun, like as if Quadren Wilson had a gun, and they opened fire. They say, Quadren says he heard 20 shots. It's very hard to know if that's the case, if 20 shots were actually fired in that traumatic type of situation. Your memories can be weird. You can hear things that weren't there. You know, it may or may not have been 20 shots. His family says he was struck at least 5 times. That seems verifiable. You know, I haven't been able to personally verify that because of HIPAA and you can't get health records. But he's under the care of WellPath right now, which is the contractor that does the jail health care. That's a company that is currently being sued in federal court by Jimmy Joshua for the neglect of him for 15 hours after the deputies broke his hip. So maybe not the most trustworthy organization to providing care. In any case, we're going to continue to follow this story and see if we can't get some answers. The Dane County Sheriff's Office put out a press release yesterday in which they promised a transparent investigation, but they've been very clear that they're not going to hold a media briefing, or they haven't scheduled one yet. It's been almost a week. They have not held a media briefing. They haven't released any video. They haven't released anything, really. It took them till yesterday to release the name. Like the family came forward with the name before the sheriff's office did. So they've not been real transparent. I don't know what it is about Wisconsin law enforcement. They just refuse to be transparent in their investigations of these kinds of things, and it's unfortunate. So I'm told Jan Tesloff, the Captain Jan Tesloff at the Dane County Sheriff's Office, is heading up this investigation. And I'm told that when they have more information, they will hold a press briefing or just send out updates. I'd rather they have a press briefing so we can ask questions. So if you're listening, Dane County Sheriff's Office, have a briefing. Let us ask you questions. Even if you can't answer, let us ask the questions. All right, so that's that. About 50 people at the protest today. demanding answers, demanding accountability, demanding some justice. And that story, my recap of that protest is there at Madison365.org right now. Also today, Austin Gomez, Badger wrestler, the 149-pound weight class, is responding to a racial slur thrown at him by a University of Iowa Hawkeyes fan at Carver Hawkeye Arena over the weekend. There was a dual meet between Wisconsin and Iowa, and Austin won his match by a 3-2 score. If you know wrestling at all, you know that's a pretty low-scoring match. Probably pretty tightly contested. Probably pretty exciting. He won the match, and the fans were chirping a little bit and booing and jeering, and he did one of these at them, like, yeah, keep talking. And somebody used an anti-Latino slur on him, and his statement that he put out on Monday basically said, I didn't care. I think it's funny that I get in their heads. But he's also alleging now that they were using similar language against Gomez's family, who were in attendance at the match, including his young sister. So Iowa has apologized. Iowa has said that they will ban that fan for life if they can find out who it was. So that investigation is ongoing as well. Another sports story here. You can see this. I'll move my graphic here so you can see. 12-year-old swimmer in Superior, Wisconsin, was told that she could not compete in a swim meet with this political message on her swimsuit. She told her mother, I don't want to change. This is what I believe. I want to wear this. And her mother said, okay. And thankfully, a YMCA official, the YMCA there in Superior was hosting the meet. And the YMCA official overturned the decision of the initial official who said that it was a political message and you can't wear that. And that official that tried to ban this girl from swimming has themselves been banned from officiating future swim events. So the right outcome there in Superior, Wisconsin. And finally today, long, good, deep profile this morning from our editor-in-chief, Dave Dahmer, on Sagacious Livingston. I should say Dr. Sagacious Livingston, who became really well known about 5 years ago for a book called Infamous Mothers. She's out with a new book called Covet, the Disrespectful the Disrespectful Health and Wellness Journal. It's a book that sort of a self-care book that acknowledges that Black and brown people, women especially, have to go through life really just, making sure not to offend the white people around them. And that kind of awareness and that kind of code switching, that kind of, self-modification, self-moderation has a harmful effect on your health. So this is a book that helps you get over that for a minute, be in a space where you can be messy and vulnerable and practice that self-care. So that story is again on Madison365.org. So that's the local news I have for you. We'll briefly touch on COVID because the news is really good. We don't have to talk about it a lot. I would not be surprised if Dane County allows its mask mandate to expire on March 1st, and I would be shocked if they actually pulled it early because things are back to pre-Delta levels, or pre-Omicron levels rather. 2,864 new cases is the 7-day average. That includes 2,953 cases today. Positive test rate is down to 12.8%, which is still high. Like that, the positive test rate is still not good. But that's also a lot of negative tests that are being taken at home now and not being reported. So that's a little slightly elevated probably. New deaths down to 20. I'm really shocked at that. I'm pleasantly shocked that the 7-day average of confirmed deaths is actually going down. It should be going up. By all means, it should be going up still. Because the deaths reflect the cases 4 weeks ago. And we were doing daily 8,000, 9,000 new cases a month ago. So that should be at least in the 50s or 60s. But it's not. So that's actually really good news. I mean, 20 deaths every day is still a lot, obviously. We're up to 11,483 deaths. But I'm just shocked that it's not going up. And it's actually coming down. So that's pretty good news. The hospitalization, similarly, 1,137 people currently hospitalized, 305 lower than a week ago. That's a huge drop off in just a week. 220 of those are in ICU. That's down 76. So again, all of these numbers are going down, and not just drifting a little bit downward. They're going down really fast and really steep, which is really good news as we head into spring. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll be back tomorrow with more news for you. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and just keep an eye on Madison365.org always for the latest. Till we see you tomorrow, have a good night.
This is 365 Media.